Welcome to the Darkstream, Vox Day, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. Thanks for tuning it in, firing it up. We have the unauthorized chat going. I'm told the audio and video are good by John Bradley and Coyote Jack and Sir Hamster, so we're all good. And as you have probably surmised, I've been pretty busy of late on some new projects that I'm going to, believe it or not, tell you a little bit about tonight. So hang on, I'm going to turn some stuff up here, make sure we can hear these. Okay, excellent. So you know, we've been busy on a lot of things. You know, we've had some delays in working on the bindery stuff, mostly related to you know, tweaking machines and stuff. We did have a serious problem that I was concerned about with regards to the machine that was dropped. It didn't seem to be working. In fact, it destroyed the first book block that we put into it. Fortunately, it turned out that we'd been given some bad information. It looked like there's only 2 or 3 settings on it, which is true on the outside, but after our bookbinder called up and talked to the experts, and turned out that if you took the panels off and dug around inside, there's actually some internal settings which turn out to be very important, and we're not included in the training for who knows what reason. But anyhow, the important thing is that it works. It's good. So that means that we can. Now we're just waiting on the stamping rig. We actually had it working, tested, but it wasn't perfect, so we sent it back to get perfected and eliminate the likelihood of human error, which is the whole point of having it in the first place. And so we're getting close. We're getting close. Sir Hamster says it's a lot cheaper to fiddle with settings than scrapping the machine. Yeah, but I mean, I was already, you know, having the bookbinder shop around for machines while I was shopping around for machines, because we didn't know there were settings. We'd already messed with all the settings that we knew. But fortunately, you know, persistence paid off. And so, anyhow, now I'm going to play something. It's going to be a little strange, I understand, but just bear with me. Watch this. I'm going to show you a couple videos tonight, and I think that what's going on is going to become clear in the process. So just sit back. Some of you will be familiar with this. Some of you will not necessarily know what this has to do with anything. Trust me, in the end, it's all going to become clear. So without further ado, I'm going to play you this trailer for a Emmy award-winning television show, of all things. Let's sit back and enjoy. Welcome to Rexham.
Look, we're looking at the documentary right there. Hi, documentary!
Rob and I came together to purchase a football club.
Everything is going exactly the way we want it to go, and then we lost in the semifinal.
This was not in the Hollywood script.
But now millions of people are following and watching, which we didn't have before.
A lot of expectation.
Oh my God, the expectation. Dear God.
Welcome to Wrexham.
We have a new season on the horizon.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off.
Business is all booming. Who wants a beer?
The community's growing in a way that is authentic and real and powerful. So the King of England called.
If we do not get promoted this year, the club is completely and wholly unsustainable.
The burden isn't just winning and getting out of this league, it's never letting down this community.
This season for me, it's more than football. It's belief.
Bring it on.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Wrexham as a club.
You need a
as a town, are the underdogs.
We gave ourselves a mountain to climb.
This feeling I've got now, it's magic.
I look at Wrexham as the most special gift I've ever had in my life.
So that's the trailer to season 2, Welcome to Wrexham. It's a very cool story. I mean, it's a really cool story. Not gonna lie, one of the few times in my life I've ever wanted to be a Hollywood star, just to do something like that, you know. Anyhow, you know, Wrexham's a massive underdog story. They are actually climbing the mountain, as it were. They didn't win promotion the first year from the National League, which is the 5th highest league in England. They did win promotion the second year, and they're actually doing really well this year in League 2. And so, anyhow, it's a fantastic story. It's a big underdog story, but the mountain that they're climbing, while it's a real mountain, it's actually kind of akin to climbing the biggest mountain in Wales. This next video I'm going to show you is the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest in tennis shoes and a t-shirt. So check this out. I think you're going to enjoy it. Need to make sure I pick the right one. Okay, so here we go.
We're a very honest team. We're a good side. We just want to get on with it.
Obviously, we've got confidence in our own ability. We feel that we should be high up as we can be.
If I could get a gun and go and shoot the fucking left back, I would.
I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it.
What a day to be alive. That's the best day of the whole day.
Gaffer wants standards. You've got to carry on with the form.
That ain't us. That is bullshit.
It's an incredible dressing room. It's one of the best that I've ever been with.
The people that step away mentally from pressure, you're pretty fucked.
I think every emotion you can have has run through my body today.
I'm lost for words, if I'm honest. I don't really know what to say.
To give you the extra edge, you have to take the shit as you go along. You have to take it personally, you have to improve, you have to be a man about it, yeah? See all these other clubs in these playoffs, like fucking scared to win, scared to lose, all that shit. I'm thinking, mate, I'd rather lose fucking 8-0 and do what we do. We're gonna fucking turn the heat up on this mob. And then you have your day in the sun. This is our day in the sun. If you do what I'm asking you, you can have a great day. You're going to fucking shut up, listen, throw everything at it. You've done it now, get up the pitch. Get up the pitch.
So, the underdog is a team called Dorking Wanderers. And it's probably one of the biggest stories in the history of English soccer, or football, as they call it. You may recall that Wrexham was trying to get out, move up from the National League. Well, Dorking started as a like a park and rec team. I mean, literally a team of 11 guys who were just playing in a regular field. the amazing thing about them, in fact, the manager and the owner is the guy wearing all the black with the cap, and he was actually one of the original players. Anyhow, they were formed 24 years ago, and the amazing thing is that they won 12 promotions in 24 years. So basically every other year they went up a league. You know, they started from literally the absolute bottom, and they're already at this point they were in the sixth level league, one league below the National League. And then this happened.
They're all going to moan. Of course they are. Modern footballers.
Yeah. So at this point, they're down 1-0 in the playoffs.
Get there. Oldacre win the ball back.
At this point,
nice ball out to Fuller. Fuller just got to deliver it, man.
There's literally
cuts on
seconds
his
left
left foot, his
in the
weaker foot.
game
Does well. Rutherford has a header. Only one person in the box. Need people in the box, please. Ball into Oldacre. Oldacre back out to Wills. Someone go far post. Go on. Nice football. Alfie Rutherford scored for Dorking. And it's another soft goal. Alfie Rutherford. Referee blows his whistle, and Dorking Wanderers are promoted to the National League. Unbelievable! What an advert for National League South.
So, any ideas as to why I'm showing you these videos? I'm sure some of you have a few theories. No, the color's just off. You bought a soccer club. Yeah, we don't have those kind of resources. Anyhow, what I'm happy to be able to let you guys know is that Castalia Library is now partnering with the Dorking Wanderers Football Club. You can see that I'm actually wearing one of their shirts. And in fact, for at least the next 3 seasons, Castalia Library is going to be the sponsor on the back of the jerseys. We arranged to sort of trade things. We're also going to be producing their 25th anniversary book, which will be done in both regular hardcover and in leather. They don't know anything about crowdfunding, so we're going to be helping them administer and run their crowdfund that they're going to do next late spring, early summer for the book. And it's a really fantastic opportunity. The reason that we started talking to them in the first place, while I was watching the Wrexham documentary, I realized how important football was to the English market. I also did some math and some digging around, market research, and Folio Society, which is actually imitating us. They started doing goatskin leather books because we were having success with ours. Folio Society has a substantial business measured in the double-digit millions, and most of their business is in the UK. Our business in the UK is about 10 books a month, and it's clear that the English market values the kind of deluxe books that we do, and there's going to be a significant amount of interest in it once we're ready to start introducing our books there, once we have the Castalia library site ready to go, etc., etc. Mowgli points out they're starting to offer a lot of the books Castalia does. They have. It's very, very obvious that Folio's been paying great attention to what we do, and because we haven't been marketing the books outside of the community, we've been focusing on just getting our infrastructure right, getting our production stuff and our shipping and all that stuff right. We haven't made any attempt to sell the books outside of the community. That is going to change this fall, and this is part of that effort. Not only are we going to be able to introduce ourselves to the people in the UK effectively this way, but we're also making a tremendous amount of really excellent contacts. Some really good, really smart people who really like what we do and respect what we do, and honestly couldn't care less about what some randos on the internet happen to think about me or Owen or anybody like that. To put it into perspective, Mark, the manager, is approximately 100 times more controversial and radioactive than I am. He was getting interviewed on one of the biggest English football podcasts about 2 weeks ago, and they were asking him about a recent 8-match ban that he'd been given by the league. And he said, look, mate, I was just offering the course that I give to the referees. And they're like, well, what course? He goes, it's a self-improvement course. I'm just helping them improve. And they said, but you got an 8-match ban. And he said, well, look, I maybe deserved some kind of punishment, but 8 matches, they would have given me less if I committed manslaughter. So anyhow, they're literally the ultimate underdogs. All the stuff that we've accomplished as a community is actually very similar to what they've accomplished in their world. And so, there was a lot of, I would say, mutual understanding for some of the stuff that we've done. We understand how impressive the stuff is that they've done. So what we're going to be doing, probably starting tomorrow, you'll notice on Unauthorized that there will be a DWFC channel, and initially it's just going to have some of the stuff that they put on YouTube and so forth, but we're also going to have access to all of their games. So we're going to be able to put all their games up there for those of you who want to join the fun and watch the games and so forth. We can't do them. It's actually potentially possible that we could even stream them live because it's outside the UK, but we don't know that yet. So we're looking into it. And the thing is that their total fan base, their core fan base, is actually about the same size as our community. And so, it's my hope that for those of you who are interested in this sort of thing, if you don't have an English football team that you support, I hope you'll consider it. They were very impressed with some of the merchandising stuff that we had done with Crypto Fashion, and so we just to put it in perspective, this is pretty typical of their merchandising. A regular T-shirt with a patch on it. I sent them this just as an idea, and after they stopped laughing, they said, "Hey, if you can handle, if you guys can handle stuff in America, we would love it, because they have absolutely no capacity for that sort of thing." So I threw this together, just to show them what was possible. So I thought, like I said, after they stopped laughing, they said, you guys really need to do some of our marketing, do some of our merchandise. Anyhow, although they did say, maybe don't use the exact circle around the logo, because we don't want people thinking that an undead zombie cockerel is our actual logo, which I had to admit was probably a good point. Anyhow, and don't worry, there will be things designed that are not intended to be designed for a 14-year-old football lad. But we don't have a new Crypto Fashion person per se, but the guys who have picked up the mantle, they're handling it, and they have access to all the same sort of thing that Ian did, and so I have to admit, this is one of the times that I really miss Ian being around, because he would have loved this. I can actually imagine dreading some of the designs that he would be throwing at us, going, "How about this?" And we'd be going, "No." But anyhow, just Ludwig says, Sports Galactic is here. So anyhow, just in case that doesn't give you get you fired up enough for this particular project, check this one out.
You can erase Saturday in fucking 2 minutes.
Why am I more nervous for this than the actual play?
Right, here we go.
And then all of a sudden you lose your first two and you're thinking the worst.
Then we'll have a fucking punch up on the first fucking game of the season.
Your legs are like jelly from the second you start.
Fucking play like men. You're at a fucking war, man. You're fucking Dorking Wonders.
So what Dorking Uncovered is it's a 4 seasons so far, ongoing documentary on YouTube. It's not part of the team proper, but it's the guy that they work with. It's very popular. It's got over 300 million views total. And I'm actually having some discussions with the guy who runs it to potentially get some of that content up on unauthorized as well. And so, what we've said for a while that we want to, expand the range of what we're doing with unauthorized, and obviously because we only have 8,000 whatever it is subscribers. What we can do is limited. We have done some significant stuff. We've now got server setups on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean, and now we are working with some partners in sports. And the thing that's great about it is that it allows us to grow in a healthy, organic manner that allows us to keep working on a shoestring budget and grow with the success of our partners. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, currently, Dorking are, I think, 1 point above the relegation zone. They're facing their struggles the same way that we were facing some struggles 2 years ago. And there's going to be new challenges. There's going to be new conflicts and stuff. But with the global economy imploding, with all the fake and gay globalist economy collapsing, it won't be a surprise if you start seeing the big teams like Chelsea, Manchester City is facing 155 penalties because of all the financial shenanigans and stuff that they've been doing. And also what we found is that even these low level, small alliances with people that are have communities roughly the same size as ours has really been very effective. I mean, look at the way that the Dread Ilk and the Bears have been able to cooperate, come together, and make new things possible, crazy things possible, and we're already talking. For example, I had an hour-long meeting today with one of the big Japanese publishers, and we talked for a bit over an hour, and they want to look at translating some of our books into Japanese, introducing them into the Japanese market. They're potentially interested in having the Castalia Bindery do some of their Japanese books in Japan, and so forth. And we're looking at both potentially translating 1 or 2 books ourselves from Japanese into English, as well as hooking up with the existing publishers that are publishing their stuff in English and coming out with deluxe editions of the best of those books. Now, I understand, if you've got a subscription to library or history or both of them, we're not expecting and we're not asking you, hey, sign up for yet another subscription, or whatever. We're not doing that. The stuff that we're doing now is the stuff that is going to grow Castalia. But the focus, and it's true, the focus is always going to be on you guys. The focus is always going to be on the core. We will never, ever, ever do what NASCAR does, what the video game companies do, and ignore the core audience in order to chase new ones. Everything we do is going to be, as you know, slow, and it's going to take time. It's going to be organic, and it is going to leverage the stuff that we're already doing, that we already know how to do very well, and take one step. So, and for example, you know, the Dorking Wanderers football channel is going to be totally free to all unauthorized subscribers. And that's true. I mean, yeah, obviously initially we're going to be using some of the stuff that they just put out on YouTube, but some of the other stuff, the full games, etc., that's not going to be on YouTube. It's not on YouTube. It'll only be here. And, you know, I hope that both our community, both Castalia and our community and the football club are going to really benefit from this. I mean, we know they're going to benefit from it because we're doing their book, you know, and I mean, they're very excited about that. Nobody, not even Wrexham, has a book like that. You know, the kind of teams that have the sort of book that we're doing are like Arsenal and Manchester United. You know, now one day, you know, I believe that they're going to make it to the Premiership. I hope that Castalia Library is so successful that when they do, we're going to be on the front of the shirt. You know, that's my goal for Castalia, is we want to be on the front of the shirt when they make it up to the Championship, when they make it up to the Premier League. That might sound totally insane, but it's way less insane and it's way less doable than starting with 11 guys and going all the way up to the National League. It's far more doable. Dan says instead of TikTok. Actually, Rexham doesn't have TikTok anymore. They United Airlines is now their front of the shirt sponsor. And the funny thing is, you know, I was talking to someone in England today who's not affiliated with either club, and although they really like what Rob and Ryan have done for Wrexham, for the town, you know, the town is excellent. Thank you, Keep Moving Bear. He sends a super chat that just says super chat. So thank you very much. But you know, the way that Wrexham went up was they spent way more money than everybody else. You know, so is their strategy of bringing in lots of big name sponsors who want to rub shoulders and be attached to the documentary and stuff, is that going to be enough to beat out oil chic money, the sort that runs Newcastle and Manchester City and, you know, a couple of the other big clubs? You know, and is that whole model of spend tons of money, go into debt? You know, one manager told the Wrexham manager, you know, one of your strikers costs more than my entire starting team. You know, the interesting thing is Dorking is actually the only part-time team in the league. They're actually playing in a professional league with part-time players. Think about how astonishing that is. I mean, it's a real testimony to what can be done when you have smart people, dedicated people who know what they're doing, who are totally committed to the cause. You know, I mean, and what was really great, and what I thought was really cool was the way that they recognized themselves in our community. You know, they recognized the same sort of just get it done somehow, you know, without going out and spending a bunch of money, hiring a bunch of people, etc., etc. That never works over time. You know, it works as long as you have an advantage, but then it stops working as soon as you run into somebody who's got deeper pockets than you do. And of course, since most of the deeper pockets are actually debt, we already know what's going to happen to all those organizations. You know, and that was one of my first conversations with them is, you know, what kind of situation are guys in? You know, how much debt do you have? And they said, none. We don't believe in borrowing money. And they said it a little bit like, a little defiantly, and I was like, no, that's great. That's exactly what I would want to hear, you know. And so it's going to be very cool. In fact, you can already order the 3 shirts that are going to have Castalia Library on the back. If you go to their Slapweasel or Sir Hamster, could you go and grab the site? Let me see it. Actually, I've got the site here. Hang on a second. So if you guys want to go and check it out, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Here we go. In fact, just because of their relationship with us, they anyhow. Anyhow, you can see the 3 jerseys that they've got coming, and you know, the Castalia Library, the simple logo, just the one with the 2 names in the book. You know, that will be on the back of those jerseys. It was kind of a funny conversation because I said, yeah, you know, it'd be cool. We could put it at the top, you know, across the shoulders, and they're like, yeah, we can't do that. I said, okay, no problem. How come? And they said, well, that's where the player names go, which made me laugh because, you know, we've sponsored jerseys and stuff before. We've never sponsored the kind of team that actually has player names on the back. So anyhow, and you know, just in case you're concerned, this is not putting any pressure whatsoever on Castalia Library. You know, we worked out essentially a let's call it a barter situation. So you know, the kind of the book stuff that we're going to do, it's not just going to be the one book, and it's probably not going to be just the one unauthorized channel. What's really cool about the red home shirt is that 1,500 supporters, I don't know if it's sold out or not yet, but 1,500 supporters have paid to put their names on it. So there's going to be 1,500 names of the supporters on there. Anyhow, you can already order them, and let me show you what will be. This will be on the lower back under the number, I believe. Let's see here. I put this stuff. There we go. And yeah. So this, I don't know what color and stuff exactly will do it, but that's what is going to be on the back of the jersey. And you know, it's going to, you know, it's going to attract a lot of attention just because nobody knows what it is. They'll also have, I believe, one of those signs that go along the back all around the stadium. So I think they'll have 2 of them that'll be showing that. So so it's a really exciting thing. And by the way, John, they really like Booster Patrol, and actually suggested having Booster Patrol before a game sometime. I told him that would probably be a little difficult, but anyhow, I thought you might enjoy that. Are UK sizes the same as McDonald's American sizes? No, you need to order at least a size up. And so, and what we can probably do too, is we can probably arrange something where, all the American orders can get shipped to our shipping location, and then we'll ship it out from there, which should reduce the shipping price. I don't know if they are reasonably set up to even ship outside the UK yet, but anyhow, and you can tell I was not consulted at all on the away jerseys. They look great, but they look a lot like Inter. I was like, are you kidding me? You couldn't go red? But anyhow, c'est la vie and Forza Milan. I hope you're as excited as I am about this. I think it's just going to be an amazing, an exciting and fun project for the future. I believe it's going to help both Castalia and Unauthorized tremendously over the coming years, and there's going to be new and more. It's going to open new and exciting opportunities, not just in the States, but all around the world. And so, when I was talking to that big Japanese publisher, I was asked, well, tell us what are some of the things you kind of do? And I've never ever had the chance to tell them anything on the marketing side. When they say, what do you do for marketing? We have a website and we send out emails once a month. Believe me, that does not impress large foreign publishers. You know what actually does kind of impress them? Is when you say, well, we're sponsoring a English football team next year, next couple of years. And because they don't know the difference between Chelsea and some team in the Isthmian South League, they're very inordinately impressed by it, to the point that you're like, okay, it's not quite that big a deal. We're not some giant, I've made it very clear, we're not some sort of giant operation here, But Savage Bear says, buying low on a soccer team is a really cool idea. Well, I mean, you got to give Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney credit. That's where I got the idea, In fact, when I was first talking to them, the woman said, you have an American accent. How did you even hear about us? And I said, well, I was watching, Welcome to Wrexham. And she goes, oh, yeah. What you'll notice, Cactus Eater Bear, if you're watching the documentary, I think it's season 2, episode 4. They actually, because it's such a good story, they actually just go on to this 7 or 8 minute diversion talking about it. So anyhow, I understand, most of the people here, a lot of people don't care about sports. Most of the people who do care about sports care about, NFL, NCAA, which is cool. I mean, I will always be a Vikings fan, that. But, it's always been our goal at Unauthorized to offer more than just people sitting on ammo boxes talking at people. Okay, just Big Bone says, I'm ecstatic. So, anyhow, and I'm delighted to hear that. It's actually been a lot of fun. It was kind of funny. For Christmas they sent over a bunch of t-shirts and stuff, And when I told everybody, it was kind of hilarious the way that everyone immediately looked at Space Bunny. And she's like, "Why are you looking at me? I can't control him." So, anyhow, that was a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun. And I think that I think this is going to be a lot of fun for our whole community. And in fact, they were telling me that they had an American fan from Texas show up last week. He's just followed the YouTube channel, wanted to go to a game, so he called them up and said, "Hey, I'm a fan from Texas. Can you tell me where to stay when I come visit?" And so, and they're really a great group of people. In fact, a lot of English football fans, they like to visit the different stadiums and just visit the different teams. I think they call it the 92, which is attending home games at all 92 of the top 5 leagues. And what was interesting was seeing that a lot of them really like the Wanderers, because apparently they'll do things like, because all the visiting fans will sit together, and so they'll occasionally do things like, invite them all down to the pub and buy them all around and stuff. I mean, it's just a really great story, and it's a really great group of people, and I think it's going to be a tremendously effective way for Castalia Library to introduce itself to the UK market. It is true. The name is definitely memorable, shall we say? Boreham Wood versus Dorking Wanderers kind of sounds like sketch comedy. Well, I mean, that's England for you. John Bradley says, this is even better than rooting for a team just because they're from the nearby big city. I think it could be. I think it can be, I mean, I would love it if it gets to the point where we can, where we can stream it live and do our own commentary, So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm pleased that a lot of you are enthusiastic about the next ride, because the ride never ends. Speaking of Booster Patrol, before I go tonight here, let's go ahead and fire up the latest. I haven't heard this one yet, so we're all experiencing it together. This is, and you can tell that I'm haven't been involved in selecting the song. This is Walk Like an Egyptian. Okay, I'm just going to say right now, I'm skeptical, John. I am skeptical. One question here. Why not an Italian team? Well, it's pretty simple. We have books in English to sell. Oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back. Cordell wanted to hear it. Cordell gets it. No problem. Anyhow, when we get to the point where we have a significant Italian language library, we will consider finding a Italian team to support. But since our books are in English, I think that we should, this makes sense for us to focus on, the next market, which is, which we know from Folio Society success is there. So here we go. Boosting the Bengals.
your cigarette. Foreign times with the hookah pipe say. Walk like an Egyptian. And they cross the floor, they've got the move. You drop your drink and they bring you more. All the school kids so sick of books, they like the punk and the metal band. When the buzzer rings, they're walking like an Egyptian. All the kids in the marketplace say, walk like an Egyptian. Feet up the street, bend your back, shift your arm, then you pull it back. Life is hard, you know, so strike a pose on a Cadillac. If you wanna find all the cops, they're hanging out in the donut shop. They sing and dance, they spin the clubs, cruise down the block. All the Japanese with their yen, the party boys call the Kremlin, and the Chinese know. They walk a line like Egyptian. All the cops in the donut shop say, walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Well, that is actually a great kickoff to 2024 for Booster Patrol. Powers of Bear says, Vox can't deny that spicy solo. I really like the second solo. The first one was, sets up for it. Yeah, that second one was really good. And Rachel did a great job on the lyrics. I mean, I was a little bit skeptical about the suitability of her voice for that one, just because, Susanna Hoffs, she doesn't have a great voice. She doesn't have a strong voice. She's got almost what you'd call like a cute, pretty voice. And so I was wondering if Rachel's voice was going to work for that. But, kind of like with WoW, because of the boosting, I think that her, oh my goodness, he actually did it. Sorry. John, it was a bad idea of mine. I regretted it like 2 days after sending you the email. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, I'll explain in a second. Now I'm totally, that completely threw me off track. Anyhow, I think that Rachel's voice, she's got this like strong punk voice, and that's why she was so perfect for like Republica and stuff. But I think because the song is boosted, it really works well. So great job, John. Rachel, great job as well. So actually, I was thinking that because it's got both the male and female parts, we should consider Simple Minds Alive and Kicking. That would actually be that could be a pretty cool one. I actually always liked Simple Minds. I thought they were a better band than they got credit for. Anyhow, in a moment of what I can only describe as temporary insanity, I sent John a Communard song, which I always like. I mean, I love the Communards. Of all the flamboyantly gay bands out there, they're definitely my favorite flamboyantly gay band. They were it was, I think, Jimmy Somerville from Bronski Beat. He hooked up with a keyboardist who's now a Anglican priest, which goes a long way towards explaining some of the problems in the Anglican Church. I realized that I could actually hit the stuff, no problem. And it's a really good song. But anyhow, I'll be very interested to see what John does with it. So it's just falsetto. So it's not. I mean, the key thing, to be able to do the stuff that he does, your voice has to be high enough that it transitions into this falsetto reasonably smoothly. So, oh, don't worry. Powers of Bear said, I wish that quote could make it into a review somewhere. I have no doubt that you'll find it on the internet somewhere, but anyhow, thanks very much for tuning in. I realize this has been not a production, but a entertainment heavy dark stream in a time where there's a lot of serious stuff to talk about. You know what? The serious stuff we'll keep for a day or two. So have a good evening. If you're a football fan, check out DWTV and Dorking Uncovered. There's a ton of stuff, good stuff, and look forward to seeing you at the next one. I'm Vox Day, and this is the Darkstream.